Because you wanted to know, who was the cosmonaut who died screaming and cursing his crappy spacecraft? It was Vladimir Komarov on the flight of Soyuz 1 in 1967. I'm Amy Shearer-Title, and this is a Vintage Space video. On April 20th, 1967, Vladimir Komarov was selected as the pilot of Soyuz 1, with Yuri Gagarin serving as his backup. This first flight of a Soyuz spacecraft was supposed to be a pretty sophisticated mission, with 2 spacecraft launching one after another, and 2 crews switching spacecraft in orbit to come down in the other vehicle. But there were so many problems with the Soyuz vehicle going into launch that the Soviet space program decided to scrap this idea and launch Soyuz 1 alone. Komarov was rightly nervous about the flight. There were 203 known issues with the Soyuz spacecraft going into launch, all of which have been documented in a report, but the report seemed to fall on deaf ears. As for Komarov, his hands were tied. He knew that if he refused the flight, he would lose his military honors, and that his close friend and a national hero, Yuri Gagarin, would be forced to fly in the unsafe spacecraft in his stead. Rather than risk Gagarin, Komarov agreed to the flight. Soyuz 1 launched on April 23, 1967, and there were problems as soon as it reached orbit, but it was nothing compared to the problems that happened during its descent a day and 2 hours later. Soyuz 1 fell through the atmosphere completely out of control, and landed with the force of a 2.8-ton meteorite. The largest piece of Komarov that was found that was recognizable was his heel bone. For more on the story of Komarov and Soyuz 1, check out the article linked below.